to be doing pretty good considering it's winter. So we bought these as acorns, and like these. But these are tan oaks, which we don't really want to grow. There's already too many of those. So birth of a new tree, and not birth of an old tree. So doing a little video on taking this tree down, not the live oak, which I'm hoping is going to live. There's a lot of things sprouting off that after the fire. But this huge fir, which doesn't have anything on it at all, and kind of told by what we've researched, that means that's not going to come back. I don't think it's a crazy difficult tree to chop down because it's leaning a lot to the left. Although that can be really deceiving because of the hill. All the geography down here makes that quite difficult to tell, but this one, you can see it kind of jumps back to try to balance its own C of G, but not enough. Dangers in cutting a tree like this, like all the weight is on the left hand side, so as we cut out the wedge, we can make the wedge smaller because we're kind of sure it's going to go that way. But as we cut it out, we want to make sure the back doesn't just snap, but it just go. But it is extremely big at the bottom, especially as it's going at an angle. You get that longer distance than you would if it was just straight. It's about 120 feet. You can see from the drone shot, it's 20 feet up from where I flew the drone, and then 144 feet, I think, roughly. So, kind of go through this. Complete amateur, don't watch me to learn anything. There's many good guys out there that I've kind of learned from over the last couple of years. So coming up behind it, we're on kind of a steep hill. At the moment it's really hard to see with the video as usual. But this, highlight this as a dangerous tree. I mean, all those over there are toast, we think. Maybe to the left they're a little bit better, but they're not as dangerous because we can just send them down the hill. And a lot of them are just going to fall down the hill. But we're hoping to put our new residence down here, or temporary residence. And this tree is, that's where it's going to go. I'll cut it as low as possible, so it's like more weight over where the pivot point is going to be. And I probably won't do it too huge, but I'll have to come in both sides to get that wedge out. And I'll be really careful because, as I say, there's so much weight on just, I can do this like this side. All that weight is over there. So as we remove that material, more chance of this side going. See, on this side, we're just a bit short of 28 inches. So kind of mess this up as well. But as long as, I think this area here is good. That's kind of your hinge wood. So a lot of this isn't really doing anything anymore. Okay, tree. Looks like you've had a very characteristic life with your twists and dodging all the trees that used to be around you, but now it's time. Actually, I was kind of sending it that way a bit, but now I'm thinking like these branches are really dangerous and they're obviously dead. So I might try and cut it so it goes a bit more to the left. And the way to steer it really is kind of giving it more hold wood on one side. So if we kind of cut it to the wedge here, but then try and leave it thicker on this side, it's actually going to pull it to the left a little bit. But looking at it from this angle, it does lean to the right, so that might just keep it straight. So that got a bit intense. It just amazes me how they don't go when there's so little wood sometimes. So I don't know. I kind of, maybe I could have took a bit more off, but I kind of left. Yeah, I probably could have took a lot more off, but I didn't bow it in there when I was cutting the back out, or the other side out. Yes, I really wanted it to be slim on this side, and you can see how much I left on that side. And I'm lucky I did, because it went further than where my original plan was. I was hoping it would go that way. There must have been a lot of weight to the right. I'm really lucky, didn't take out the plants or that tree on the far end. Yeah. So sadly, all those branches still survive. This works pretty well, I guess. I mean, I came into the side with a wedge and I got that big one in. And then I just cut the last bit out. I was kind of cutting this side because I didn't want to cut here anymore. When you're doing it as well, your judgment's all askew, I think. You're kind of rushing a bit. Your blood's rushing anyway. And you kind of see the angle I did it, so I didn't have to go the full length. And so this ends up just being in tension when the thing leaped off. So it kind of comes down. This is its like hinge. And then when it hits, it's like, who knows how much tension going through there. And it just completely shears. It jumped probably 15 feet. It's just kind of scary, like how massive this is.